Hello, this quick tip is all about how you can hide or mute grades for assignments in Canvas. Reasons you might do this. One is if you have a lot of things to grade. I know for me, sometimes their friends have been graded and theirs has not yet been graded, and they'll be panicked because their friend has a grade and they don't, and they're concerned there's something wrong with their assignment or the submission didn't go through. So it can kind of relieve some of that anxiety. Another reason you might consider doing this is, again, if you have a lot of things to grade, I find that sometimes I recalibrate my grading throughout the process. So, for example, I have a large class of 48 students. I start out grading, but as I get through the grading, I start to realize that there is this misinterpretation of a question based on kind of how they're answering it. Well, I've kind of recalibrated to better understand what the student products are looking like. And so sometimes I'll actually go back and regrade initial assignments to kind of reflect that calibration. And so it's nice to wait until I've done everything to do that. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. So first of all, for an assignment that you have yet to grade, you can click these three dots next to it, and you can go to the grade posting policy. So in this case, Canvas will always have the automatic grade posting policy checked off. So for any assignment in which you don't want it to automatically post, you'll want to select manual. And it says here, as you can see, that the grades will be hidden by default, and students won't be able to see them until you manually release them. And you can schedule a release date. So I'm going to save it, and here you can see that it says manual, so it's a good reminder of when you need to go manually release certain grades. Assignments in which the grades are hidden have this eye icon with the dash through it, and that's for when students have graded assignments within there. You'll see here, if I do that with this one, it'll also produce an eye with that dash through it. When you have finished your grading and want to release the grades, you can click these three dots again and go ahead and click Post Grades. And we'll see that eye icon disappears, and so these grades have been posted. You can also edit this within the SpeedGrader. So if I go to the SpeedGrader for this assignment, you'll again see this eye icon. The grades are all visible to students at this point. So if I don't want them to be able to see it, I can click Hide Grades. And so once again, students will not be able to see the grades in this process. Now, one thing to note, students do get a notification when they receive a grade on an assignment. And so they may have already seen a grade. So if you decide to hide the grades after the fact, they may have already seen it already or have kind of a record of it now. So just be cautious about that. One other thing I want to note about hiding grades, when a grade is hidden, it does not get factored into the student total. So you can see here the total course score is nothing, and there's this kind of eye icon there. Students, for grades that are hidden, their final score will not reflect that hidden grade. So that hidden grade's not being incorporated into their final score. Now we'll see that if we publish this one, we can now see that this student has a score, so 1 out of 0, and it's no longer hidden. We can also, this student has 2 that are hidden, so theirs is still, looks like that. But now we can see that they too have a score, and so this will update the total at a later time. So that is how you can hide grades for assignments within Canvas.